blood sport. People do have a bloodthirst to watch the sport.
What a fight!
It's a real fight. This is a real fight that's happening.
Bare knuckle, maybe you're not going to become a fashion model because you're going to have too many cuts, but it's safer. You'll return home to your family with a few stitches.
The big cut is from a headbutt. The eye issue is from my eye poke, and the broken ribs in my back are from 30 kidney punches.
It's a little bit barbaric for me. I'm a boxing purist.
It's obvious what the spectacle is, but it's not obvious what the medical problems might be.
Frankly, there is no safe form of boxing.
You've got so much adrenaline pumping through your body and that thing. It's not as bad as it looks, but it is bad.
It's intense. Everyone says, like, oh, how do you manage on the fight night? And like, that part is easy for me. I love that part.
I was the champion of the world. Boxing was a marathon, but this is a sprint.
Can the extreme become mainstream?
I do think so. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe that.
This sport is going to grow in popularity because it's safer and it's more action-packed. And I think the misconceptions are going to slowly go away once people watch it more and more.
I had a bad drug addiction for like 4 years. Coming off the rails, totally lost everything. Some people think I'm crazy, but I just love it. I do it to prove that people can change and be a better person. I love the sport and I love what I do.
Nice and light there with it, come on, toes.
My name's Liam Rees. I'm 2 times world champion in BKB bare knuckle boxing.
31-year-old Liam's journey to bare knuckle boxing has been a rocky one.
We were together for like 5 years. He had a really, really bad year where the addiction was just completely out of control. I remember walking into the house once and he was sort of on the bed and he just wasn't breathing, and he was obviously taking a lot of cocaine and other drugs, and then he would take Valium, sort of bring himself down. There was a lot of alcohol involved as well. He just couldn't stop. And you just had to save yourself, didn't you?
My mum and father went for divorce at the time when this new drug was about, and I got addicted to that. I had a bad drug addiction for like 4 years. And then that's when I realised then, like, enough's enough now. I'm not getting anywhere in life. If I end up like this, I'll be dead.
Nice and relaxed, yeah. And when you're walking on your toes, back and forth.
In Swansea, Liam, who goes by the nickname Rocky, is nearing the end of his training camp with his coach, Jason, as he prepares to defend his super welterweight BKB world title.
I have 5 minutes and we do a couple of rounds sparring.
It does sort of trigger me at times as well in the fight, because everybody has had a few drinks and they always bring up, oh, you've done this for him, you know, you brought him out with this, and I'm like, let's not go back, you know, let's move on now. It's been 7 years, I think you've been completely clean for now.
Yeah. I put it through hell and back, I did. But if it wasn't for, I probably wouldn't be alive, to be honest with you. I'd probably be in a gutter somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, she was good as gold.
If someone were to ask you, why do you fight? What would you say to them?
Because I love the sport, and I love doing what I do. I do it for my family, my kids. I do it to prove that people can change and be a better person. So I do sacrifice a lot as well. I don't see my kids through the weekdays. Some people think I'm crazy, but I just love it.
Bare knuckle is considered as the original form of boxing. It persisted until 1867, when the Marquis of Queensberry rules were introduced, insisting on gloves to protect the hands. Glove boxing then evolved into an established sport. Bare knuckle became the forgotten, unspoken side of a sport. Unregulated and unlicensed, they were more often staged on wasteland. In the professional setups, hands are wrapped, but the wrap stops 1 inch behind the knuckles, which are left bare.
Welcome to Cardiff, Wales, tonight's home to BKB bare knuckle boxing, and tonight's home of the smallest fighting surface in combat sports, the Manny Trailer.
Well, over the past decade, the number of officially recorded bouts has increased from 21 in 2015 to over 1,000 in 2025 across 15 different countries. And the question most people ask is it legal? Well, it is, and as you can see, the setup is no different from what you'd get in a traditional boxing show.
Here we go!
One of the trends that was going on in boxing while I was there is that it was aging up. So it was becoming an older sport demographically. My name's David Tatro. I'm CEO of BKB, Bare Knuckle Boxing. What we've really seen is that there's a huge trend with the Gen Z audience into the millennials. And I think we attribute a lot of it to just the spontaneity of the sport and the very, very quick knockouts that happen.
Much better than nightclub boxing, much better. Knockout every round. Who wants to see everyone dancing about doing nothing, do you know what I mean? Bare knuckle, I think it's the biggest sport in boxing these days, so more people like it.
But I think it's great, very gladiatorial.
I prefer boxing, just because it seems a bit safer, even though it's probably not.
When you use gloves, you don't see half as much as like the bust up there. Whereas when you come watch bare knuckle, see people get cut, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Is it more brutal than boxing?
No, it is not more brutal than boxing, but that's what they say, that's what they perceive. The differentiation in our sport is that as it's ungloved, the fighters have to be taking care of their hands. They can't hit as hard. They have to be more accurate, or else they're going to break their hands.
But what about the fact that some of these fights end quite quickly? And if you are getting knocked out, you are still suffering a concussion.
There's no way of getting around that. But I think the difference is it's not the continual punching. It does sound more visceral, you know, and it does evoke all of that. That's part of the excitement, though, too. That's part of what brings in the fans, is that it is so raw, it is so real. I think you start building, more of a cultural momentum for the sport.
The Englishman, James D. Gale, now set for fight number 1 in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
And that growing popularity built around social media platforms is now attracting fighters who are more used to the gloves on, such as Olympic middleweight gold medalist and former IBF super middleweight world champion James DeGale.
One more clinch.
By unanimous decision, James Chunky DeGale!
DeGale has fought at BKFC shows, where the ring is circular, one of the 2 primary sanctioning bodies that oversee the sport.
It's boxing, but it's slightly different. I've covered all bases, I've adapted nicely, and I've took it serious, and that's the main thing, I've took it serious.
People say fighters can't let it go, and I thought I could let it go. This is 2-time world boxing champion Paulie Malignaggi.
Why do this form of boxing? Why bare knuckle boxing?
Listen, man, I grew up in New York fighting in the street. I'm not a person who got brought along into this and just let's baby him and let's make him into a boxer. I come from that kind of world anyway. It doesn't bother me. I think the attention span of modern generations is not so good. They want to get their fights started quicker as well. They don't want any feel out rounds. Pro boxing is a classic sport. Love pro boxing, but for the newer generation, I don't think they have the attention span, unfortunately.
This one, guys, is going to be in the hands of the judges.
For your winner by split decision, Paulie Malignaggi!
You've delighted the crowd. Does it feel a big night? We've got Carl Froch here, Josh Warrington's here, Tasha Jonas here.
Have you been to one of these before?
No, this is my first time, and I'm really impressed by the setup, by the crowd, and by the action in the ring as well.
Would you actually consider it?
It's not in my plans. I'm not saying it's in my plans, so don't quote me. But yeah, I wouldn't say. I'll never say never.
What do you make of it?
I mean, it's a fine line, because boxing can be brutal as well, especially when you're up close and personal with it. When you're in the clatters going in, obviously the difference is the marks appear a bit sooner with no gloves on there.
Would you ever consider doing something like this? A lot of former boxers are doing this.
There's something about being in there on lights, what it makes you feel alive, and I do like a fight where you stand in the middle. I've only got little hands, but I also never say never.
I need an eye patch.
He's coming right now. Just getting all the equipment.
And my kidney, my left kidney's killing me. Bare knuckle, maybe you're not going to become a fashion model because you're going to have too many cuts, but it's safer. You'll return home to your family with a few stitches. I'll tell you when I'm done like this, so now the adrenaline starts coming down, I start asking myself why I do this.
One of the guys was saying about getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I've covered many boxing events over the years, but the one noticeable difference is the sound of the punches on impact, but also the ring. This trigon is half the size of a conventional boxing ring, and there is literally nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
It's obvious what the spectacle is, but it's not obvious what the medical problems might be. My name's Peter Hamlin. I'm a consultant neurosurgeon. I've spent 30 years specializing in sports medicine and neuroscience. The idea of padding on a glove is to diffuse the amount of energy that gets transferred to the head. So hitting someone with equal power with an ungloved fist delivers more energy to the head, more brain injury. However, you've then got all those other confounding factors. It hurts your hands, so you tend to hold back a bit. And there is the number of blows that are landed, the number of rounds, etc., etc. And when you add that all together, you end up actually with a conclusion that reads something like, I don't know.
The fact that you're fighting shorter rounds means there's going to be a less accumulation of punches in a contest. Is it too simplistic to say that that in itself helps in terms of safety?
That's absolutely not too simplistic. That's completely straight line. Each blow will impart some level of trauma. And so the fewer blows, shorter rounds, fewer rounds, the better. You've then just got two competing bits of data, and it's trying to work out what the impact of this is.
Do you worry about long-term damage?
And I do think about that, yeah. One punch could change your life, like. But I love the sport.
It's a little bit barbaric for me. I'm a boxing purist. I like the gloves on, I like the skill, but I also understand the world that we live in. Bare knuckle is boxing without the gloves. And to some it's very exciting. I'm more of a purist, I do prefer the gloves on.
All combative sports have some very serious moral issues they need to discuss, but they're not medical. It's not, in my view, the role of medics to get involved in societal moral arguments. It's our role to inform those. You need data, you need information. And the difficulty we've had in sport is that that data doesn't emerge until they're in their later life, of many of these sportsmen and women.
I feel like it's going to continue to grow in popularity. Yeah, there's some blood, yeah, there's some bruising, but it's actually safer, so continue to watch it.
There is no safe form of boxing, and it's like choosing whether or not a cigarette or a cigar is safer to smoke. My name is Luke Griggs. I'm the Chief Executive of Headway, the Brain Injury Association. How many people are risking their lives and risking their long-term health to get something that's largely unattainable for 99.9% of all these boxers out there who are going out there and get involved in these fights. So I do question whether people actually genuinely know the risks. And Headway has been really consistent. We are hugely concerned about not only the rise in the number of professional bare knuckle fighters, but the glamorization of a sport that's going to be taken out and into the streets and to glamorize this kind of violence and the punching to the head and causing that brain injury. Yeah, I think it's hugely concerning.
If you were just to apply medical safety to sports, you wouldn't start by banning boxing or rugby. You'd end up with a very bizarre selection of sports that are causing per hour, per participant, more deaths. The sport that caused most people to end up with a brain operation is actually golf. Teenagers, usually inexperienced golfers, standing too close to the person teeing off, end up with a divot in their head.
Come on. Lovely. Two more. Last one, make it the best one. Come on, drive.
Well, some might associate bare knuckle boxing with amateurism, but it's 6 a.m. in the morning and the first of 3 training sessions that Liam will be doing today.
Preparation's no different to what a professional boxer would do in the lead up to a major fight.
I've had 5 or 6 bare knuckle fights now and I've won all them. It's my new addiction. I do sacrifice a lot. I don't see my kids through the weekdays. I do find it hard work.
I mean, what are you trying to achieve out of all this?
Leave a legacy for my kids, you know, to say I've done something for them.
I think a lot of the boys, they don't really have other jobs. Some of them do, but like some of them really just focus on this. But whereas with Liam, his main priority is his business. So it is hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
The calm before the storm. Liam Reese cuts a relaxed figure ahead of the biggest night and biggest test of his career so far.
Go on, Liam, boy! Go on, Liam!
He's up against Rolando D, who's attempting to make his own little bit of history by becoming the first fighter from the Philippines to win a world title.
Everyone says like, oh, how do you manage on the fight night? And like that part is easy for me. I love that part.
Fighters at this show will earn a purse in the low thousands of pounds.
The world champ, you can't get any higher than that. It's hard, because I love to do it as a full-time job, but the money's just still not good enough.
I absolutely love BKB. I think it's one of the best sports I've ever watched.
What's so good about it?
It's just so, like, in the moment, like the knockouts, the injuries is so bloody thrilling.
But I couldn't do it. Absolutely not. But no, the boys are great. Everyone take your hats off. Anyone who's got the guts to get in there, fair play to them. They're awesome.
It's gruesome. Like, there's moments where it's gory, but at the same time, that's when you get good fights.
Is that the reason why you're not scared when he fights? Because he's won a bigger fight, if you like.
Yeah, I think, you know, me and his friends always say before he's even gone there, it doesn't matter if he wins or loses, like, he's won anyway, you know, just him being where he is.
It is now time for the main event of the evening. Fighting out of the red corner, the undefeated, the defending world champion from Wales, Liam Reese.
I can never be too worried, otherwise I'd have a heart attack.
Super welterweight belt on the line. Here we go. Liam Reese in the black trunks.
Guillermo Redondo uses. He likes to use that roll right hand. Caught, landed partially there.
You've got so much adrenaline pumping through your body in that ring, right, and excitement.
Oh, good shot, good hook. Goodness!
Yeah, you're a bit sore afterwards, but it's not as bad as it looks. Kinda, but it is bad.
Reese started slowly, with D gaining the early upper hand. It left Reese needing to attack if he was going to retain his world title.
Come on, Rock! They motivate him to get aggressive, as like right there. So he's starting to lead with his own attack now instead of waiting for it.
They go the distance.
After going the full 6 3-minute rounds, it came down to the judge's decision.
Oh, he's going to be gutted, to be absolutely devastated.
He's got some heart. Rocky fought with the heart of a champion. I mean, he never gave up to the end.
Bare knuckle boxing has not just grown in popularity in Europe, but across the globe. Over the last year, there have been shows in Africa, Asia, South and North America, as well as Australia. And with more and more high-profile figures trying their hands at fighting without gloves, this will only help increase the sport's reach.
I think we're more advanced than, say, UFC was, 10 years ago from a popularity standpoint.
Can the extreme become mainstream?
I do think so. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe that.
One more prelim, break, and then right into the main card.
We're seeing it with our ticket sales. We're seeing it with our ratings on our US network Vice. We are the #1 show on the entire network. So people tune in.
I don't have a passion for bare knuckle boxing. I understand that it might entice a younger audience, but for me, I'm a boxing purist, and I think I'll always remain in that old-fashioned sense.
Anybody who's a fight fan is going to have that bloodthirst to a degree. But I think people, if they get past the misconceptions, they will love what they're watching.
The deliberate targeting of the head and brain to incapacitate your opponent. If you're deliberately trying to cause a brain injury in order to win a bout, that can't be right. We'd just rather not see people walk through our doors needing help for brain injuries that are entirely preventable.
How does one get over the fact that it looks so gory and so bloody?
I suspect that bare knuckle boxing will struggle to attract high quality doctors because of that gore. What it absolutely needs, if it's to protect its participants and to grow its sport, what it absolutely needs is to attract that high quality science and medicine so that they can stand behind what they're doing.
Absolutely gutted, but it is what it is. He's had a really good run, and Jason have as well. He was talking about this being his last fight before stepping into the ring today, so I don't know if he'll be back. I think he wants to focus on family and he wants to focus on his business as well, but I'm gutted for him, absolutely gutted. If I'm completely honest, I'd like him to step away from this now. He's got such a successful business, he doesn't need this, he does this for fun. I am a bit gutted who he's lost to. I think he's a very disrespectful person. But, we move on. No more bibs, that's it now. He's had a great stretch and he's got something to leave to his kids that he was world champion.